Hey gamers, this is Liz Davidson from Beyond Solitaire, and today I want to show you how to play Days of Discovery, Tales of Danger #1. This is a game that is currently on Kickstarter, and it's being published by Matt Worden Games, and is designed by Matt Worden. Days of Discovery is a game that is about adventuring to the land of danger. So it's $12.90, you're in Portugal, and we are trying to gather sponsors, like a whole posse of sponsors who are going to give us the supplies that we need and the patronage that we need to make a long and dangerous journey to a new land. So this game is going to be in 3 phases. In the solo version of the game, phases 1 and 2 are very closely connected, more so than in the multiplayer game, but we'll talk it through. And our basic job is to secure a sponsors in this case, get some supplies for our journey, and then actually complete the journey. And it's all going to be done using just this one deck of people cards, which is actually pretty neat. So there are a lot of multifunctional cards in this deck. So to start gameplay, we have no cards in our hand. Until we get a sponsor, our maximum limit is 7. So I'm just going to play as we go and explain everything, and I think that will be the best way to go about this. So you take 5 cards off the top of the deck to be your pool. Okay. So part of this is thinking about which sponsor we want to go for first. I want to get as many sponsors as I can. I want to end on the highest ranked sponsor I think I can get. So I am going to definitely work on the Templar first. And that means that I need to be looking at the symbols on these cards to figure out which choices are best for me. So there's 2 things I need to consider as we go. One is that each of the sponsors has a different requirement in terms of evidence, which is the scrolls, and plans, which are the maps, for getting to the land of danger. If I can show the Templar 3 pieces of evidence and 5 plans, then he's going to believe me about the land of danger and decide to sponsor my trip. And everybody has a slightly different number, usually increasing as we go, of things that they want to see. However, the other reality of my situation is that not everybody knows the Templar and is going to talk to him. So the other thing I need to consider is the symbols along this side of the card on the red banner. So the minstrel can talk to the king because of a crown, the bishop with the hat, and the noble matriarch with the chalice. However, he does not have a Templar shield, so even if I brought him with me to knock on the Templar's door, he is not going to answer. So I need to pick cards that have the shield on them for now that are going to help me with the goal of getting the Templar. So I'm going to take the monk and the socialite. The other thing, however, is that I cannot just use these guys to go talk to the Templar. There's something else special that I need and that I'm going to be waiting for. So see how this chalice has stars on either side of it? That is a mark of an insider. So my socialite has an inside edge with the noble matriarch, but she doesn't have an inside edge with the Templar. She just knows him. So the other thing that I'm going to need to add to my little party of people who are going to help me recruit this guy is an insider with stars on either side of the Templar shield, somebody who can knock on the door and say, hi, I'd like to talk to you about the land of danger. You got a moment? And then everybody else can pile in and convince him. So we're gonna take these 2 for now. I'll leave them here. These all go in the discard. Part of this game is that this deck has an aggressive timer on it, and so cards that I don't draft just go into the discard, never to be seen. Wow, again. Okay, so things have worked out pretty nicely for us this turn because we have a Templar chaplain. We got our insider that we wanted. We do also have this monk. So we're gonna grab him. And let's do like a little status check on our journey to recruiting this Templar. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 plans out of 5. And 1, 2 scrolls out of 3. So if we are lucky on our next draw, we will be able to recruit him. These guys, sadly, this would be kind of cool to have an insider with a bishop for later, but we just don't have the space for it. Same thing as the King's Steward. I'm pretty sure the Steward, and then the Minstrel. They are gonna all go in the discard, never to be heard from again. We blew our chance to recruit them. Ooh, okay, cool. All right, so I can pull 2 cards, and I need to make the right choice about that. So I definitely want to pick up the Templar Chaplain because he's going to complete the number of symbols that I need to recruit the Templar. However, I don't necessarily want to pick up this sailor. I need to think about who I want to work with next in terms of recruiting a sponsor at this point. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to grab this merchant, because the farmer and the sailor can talk to the Templar, but I'm actually going to meet his requirements on this turn, so I don't need any more of their Templar connections. And I'm not going for the merchant yet. I want to go for the matriarch first. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this merchant. These guys will go to the discard. And I can check for sponsorship. So I have, among people who can talk to that Templar, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plans, and 1, 2, 3 pieces of evidence. We've convinced the Templar, and he's going to join our side. So we get to bring him down here. He's our now active sponsor. What that means is that we have to go back down to the start card number that is on his card. So that means that we need to go back down to 2 cards. We can draft 2 cards from the market, but our hand size has gone from a maximum of 7 to a maximum of 8. So now we need to keep 2 cards. I'm going to go ahead and keep these 2 because they both have a chalice on them, and I want to go for the matriarch next. The rest are sadly going to go to the discard. Thanks for helping us, friends, but you're gone. So let's take stock of where we are really quick. We have 2 plans and 2 pieces of evidence. The noble matriarch wants 4 of each. So we're going to be drafting off of this market row in hopes of meeting her requirements. So we'll draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards. Okay, so the only 2 who can talk to her anyway are the captain and the merchant. And that's actually exactly who we needed. So we're going to draw these 2 guys. These are all going to go away, sadly. But check it out, we got really lucky actually. So we can pick up the noble matriarch, and she is going to join us now. But that means that we have to go back down to 2 because again, we get to go to 3. Her start is 3 cards. So we actually get to start with more cards than before. So we only have to discard 1 of these. Let's go ahead and discard the socialite. She's no longer useful to us, but these 3 guys are able to talk to the merchant guild. And he needs 4 pieces of evidence and 5 plans. We're at 3 of each right now by keeping these guys. So that's a good thing. So we have a start size of 3, a market draft of 2, and a max hand size of 9 at this point. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so as I draft, I should also maybe be looking ahead a little bit if I can. Ooh, 2 innkeepers, that's doubles, okay. So one thing I definitely want then is we want to finish off this merchant guild guy. I can do that by grabbing the innkeepers. So I think that that is probably what I'm going to do. Yeah, that's the smartest play. All right, so we're gonna grab these innkeepers. These guys all go in the discard. So we have satisfied the merchant guild requirement, but that means that we need to discard a card again because his start hand number is 4 and his market draft is 2 and his max is 10. So let's figure out who we want to get rid of. Part of the problem is that, let's see. Okay, we're definitely just going to ditch the captain because these guys all have a little bit more flexibility. We'll see. Okay, so the bishop start is going to go back down to 2 as well. We also don't have any bishop cards. Here are some. So we need to work on that a little bit in order to make some progress. I guess we could maybe think about going for the queen before the bishop, but I would prefer not to do that if I don't have to. All right, let's hedge our bets a little bit. We are gonna grab the minstrel because he can talk to the bishop. We are gonna take the royal guard because he can talk to both the king and the queen, so he might be worth holding on to for later if we can. Okay, so these will go to the discard. And we'll draw 5 more. I'm still doing healthy enough on this deck that I feel comfortable doing this. Ooh, got it inside with the bishop. Okay, looking good here. So we have 1, 2, 3, we have 6 cards. Our max is 10 and we can draft 2 right now. Let's go ahead and draft the Deacon for sure. And let's grab, let's see, what do we think is more important? The Doctor with his 2 plans, or the Nun with his 2 evidence, or the Nun with her 1 plan? Let's grab the Doctor because he's pretty multi-purpose. We have 8 cards in our hand. So these are all going to get discarded, and let's check our progress towards getting this Bishop. So these people can all talk to the Bishop. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces of evidence and 1 plan out of 4. So we're going to need to make a little bit more progress in this area if we want to win the Bishop of Lisbon over. If we can get somebody who can talk to the Queen, then we are actually in even better shape, I think, because we have 1, 2, 3 plans. We definitely have all of the pieces of evidence that we need. So we should be watching to see which of these we can end up getting first. If we get an insider with the Queen, that may be a better choice on the next draft. So an insider, there we go. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so let's think about this. These can both talk to the Bishop. We need plans especially to impress him. Okay, so we're definitely grabbing this Lady in Waiting. And we're gonna grab the Minstrel, which puts us at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're at our hand limit. We can still draft next turn. It just means that we're gonna have to start discarding down to our hand limit once we do that. Let's take another quick stock of our situation. All right, so basically what's going on is that we're close on both the Queen and the Bishop, but we need more plans. We've really got to get some more of these map symbols in our hand. And the Merchant can't do anything right now because he can only talk to the King of the sponsors who are left. Okay, so we're just gonna leave our hand down here for the moment, and then these go in the discard, and we'll draft again and see what we can get. Okay. More plans, which I don't need. All right, this is a like pretty useless draft, but let's go ahead and take the Royal Guard. And we are also gonna take, I'm actually just going to, let's just grab this one, but I'm going to discard her anyway. I'm going to discard 1 Merchant to keep my hand limit at 10. All right, so now I'm only 1 plan away from impressing the Queen. I still need a couple of plans to impress the Bishop. He's just being difficult today. All right, so these are going to go in the discard, and we'll draw 5 more. Okay, so the Bishop remains elusive. However, I'm going to go ahead and grab these Nuns. So we're over our hand limit, so we're going to have to discard a couple, but let's figure out how we want to handle this, because picking up these plans was good. The question is, do I want to use these Nuns to attract the Bishop or the Queen? Do I have enough plans to make a choice? All right, so I took the Nuns and I'm over my hand limit right now. So I need to discard back down to 10. And so I need to think about what's not essential for me. I am safe getting rid of one of these Minstrel cards because I'll still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 scrolls for the Bishop and 1, 2, 3, 4 plans. So that's a safe discard. I can also actually discard one of these Innkeepers, I'm pretty sure. Let's do a quick check. So we have, for the Queen, if I wanted to get her, which is gonna hopefully happen next turn, I have 1, 2, 3. Well, I'm gonna have to start over anyway. But I need to think about what I want to keep. All right, we're gonna go ahead and ditch an Innkeeper. We're gonna have to discard all the way down anyway. So here's what we've done. We now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cards again. I held on to this stuff, but I don't know why I did, because my hand limit is about to go back down to this low starting level. So I've taken the Nuns and I've discarded back down to 10. It doesn't really matter because I'm about to get the Bishop. See these cards with the hats? I have 5 scrolls on them, which are evidence, and 4 maps, which are plans. So the bishop is going to come and join our noble cause, but that also means that our start goes back down to 2. So I definitely want to keep going for the queen. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to keep, she needs 4 scrolls and 6 plans. That means that, okay, I would definitely want to keep this lady in waiting card. I'm also going to keep a royal guard so that if it works out and I decide I want to go for the king, I already have an insider for him. So those are the 2 that I'm going to choose to keep from that hand. The other question is, after I get I want to go for the queen, but do I want to keep going for the king? I am not sure, because this deck is starting to dwindle a little bit and I don't want to be too risky. That's part of the joy of this particular game, is choosing when to stop pushing your luck. I could just go into stage 2 and gather supplies for my journey now, but I am stubborn and not doing that. Okay, so we have 2 and 2, we need 4 and 6. We're gonna go ahead and grab, we can grab up to 3 cards from the market now. So we're just gonna get all 3 of these. Let's roll. These go in the discard. Ooh, the Queen's Confessor. Another Royal Guard. Doctors, sailors, what do we got? Okay. So, for the Queen right now, we have all the proof that we need. We only have 4 plans out of 6. So, we need 2 more Queen plans, and then we need to decide if we're gonna get gutsy and go for the King. So these we're definitely taking. And I may also just grab this minstrel because he can talk to the king, and we're gonna just decide in a second if that's what we want to do. So all these people can talk to the queen. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plans and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 scrolls. So we are actually overkill. The Queen of Portugal has decided to join all of these other sponsors and help us out. So that is very exciting. We have 5 sponsors. The question is, do I want to stop now and just move on and know that I can, well, I don't know, but have a better shot of finishing the game? Or should I push my luck and go all the way for the king? How greedy am I? Well, let's discard down to our start hand limit and see how I think we're doing. So I'm definitely going to keep 1, 2, 3. We're keeping everyone who can talk to the king, and we're going to make our decision partially based on that. And these guys are going to go in the discard. All right, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to hedge my bets anyway, because I can't set out on my voyage anyway until I reach my maximum hand limit of 10, as stated on the queen's card. So I can sort of prepare for my journey / watch what's going on, and I think that that's what we are going to do. So let's draw 5 cards. Okay. Maybe. Ooh, okay. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. I can draft up to 3 cards off the market. I'm definitely grabbing these 2. And then let's just pick something that might be useful down the line. Let's just go for this one, because a dude and a barrel would be good for our journey. Let's see what we pull this time. Ooh, ooh! Oh. Okay. We're gonna push for it with this king, I think, because we have we have all the plans he needs. He needs 5 plans, and we have 6. So we have 2 scrolls of proof. We're about to have 5. Oh, I hope there's one more in here. We're gonna try for it. So I'm definitely grabbing these 2 guys, and then I'm gonna grab just her because she's got a useful card. Okay, this deck is dwindling. We gotta go soon. Oh, yes! Okay, cool. Very cool indeed. Okay, so we are going to, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're absolutely grabbing this priest. And then to mess around with our start hand, let's grab this cancellation card. Actually, we'll just leave it off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, because we're gonna have to discard down. So, and we need basically all of these, except for these two, which I want. And this one. All right, so let's just make sure that we're on the up and up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, we've got 10 cards. All of these are needed to talk to the king. So if I wanted to take more, I would have to discard from here. I definitely want to keep these. That's my thought. Okay, so what's gonna happen is that was our draw. These will all go to the discard. Oh, we were really pushing it. But we have the King of Portugal. So we have all the sponsors. So that was like a tough go, but we did it. My start is 4, so I can keep 4 cards from here. And then I have to discard the rest and get up to 12, which we're just gonna do quickly and hope that we live. Okay, let's think about what to discard. Part of our decision making needs to be based on which of these cards have crowns on them. So as we go into Act 3, here's something I must tell you, which is that in the solo game, there's a special difference. When we start planning our journey to the dangerous land, the land of danger, we can only use cards that carry the symbol of our sponsor to plan segments of the journey. So cards with crowns, I really do not want to see go in the trash right now. So I definitely want to keep this one. So let's have our last couple of market turns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so now we're picking purely for our journey. I definitely want, and we can draft up to 3 from the market according to the king card. I definitely want this. I definitely want this. And let's grab this one since we have a lot of barrels but not a lot of guys. So that puts us at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I might have made a mistake here. I don't think this is gonna go so hot, but we'll do what we can. All right, so let's grab this card. Let's grab these two, since they're good for spending. Okay, so we have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have 10. I know exactly what I'm grabbing, which is I'm definitely getting this nun because she's gonna make my life a little easier. Let's also grab let's get this innkeeper. All right, now we have all of our sponsors and we have a full hand of 12, which is what the king gives us. So now that we have our full hand, that completes Act 1 and 2 of the game. You get your sponsor, you get your full hand of cards. Now we're gonna have to use what's dwindling from this deck to try to complete our journey, and it's not gonna be easy. So the way that Stage 3, Act 3 of the game works is that we need to prepare and survive 5 segments of our journey in order to make it. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and prepare my very first segment, and I'm gonna show you how to do that. So here's my nun. She has 1. So we have to draw 1 card off of this deck to see what basically price we need to pay to survive that leg of the journey. So we're gonna draw 1 card and hope nothing too terrible happens. All right, so our price is 1 person. Now we can look through our hand and find a card with hopefully 1 guy so we don't overpay too much, but I don't think we're gonna be that lucky. And then we pay 1 card from our hand in order to complete this part of the journey. So let's have a look. I wanna keep this one. Let's pay this card. So we had to overpay by a barrel, but we still made it through this leg of the journey. So the cards I spent went in the discard, but we survived this leg of our trip. Let's have a look at the next choice we can make. Okay, well, do I have any 1s left? Yes, I do. Okay, so we are gonna play another 1 with a crown on it because that's easier and I'm not crazy. So I think that's the best plan for us. So we have another journey of 1 and we're gonna draw another card off of here and really hope it's nothing horrible. So let's pull it. Woo, Okay, we got a Great Fishing +1 card. However, I don't want to pull +1 right now because if I do that, I'm going to regret it because this deck is real thin. We need to survive it. I don't want to pull more cards out of it right now. That'd be horrible. So this is already going to be real tight as it is. I don't know if we're going to make it. Whoa. So, okay, so we have Great Fishing +1 card, but we're not pulling the +1. That's optional in solo for the reason that the deck is a timer. So we can, however, discard this card. That's 2 segments of the journey that we have finished successfully. We have to get to 5. It's going to be tight. Okay, so what I'm going to do this time is we're going to go ahead and put out a 2 segment, which is a little bit more, and that means we have to draw 2 cards off of this deck in order to make it. So price 1 is 1 guy, not bad yet. Whoa. Okay, so we got 1 dude and bad luck. So fortunately, this bad luck isn't gonna hurt as bad as it could because I picked up a card earlier that says cancels bad luck. So I'm gonna go ahead and play that to this stack, and then I have to pay 1 more person. So I'm gonna go ahead and accidentally overpay, but what will I overpay? Let's do this one because it doesn't have a crown on it. Okay, so I have paid in, and now these all go to the discard, and we've successfully completed our 3rd leg of the journey. Oh my gosh, I do not know if we're gonna make this or not, but it's exciting. Okay, so let's pick our next leg. We need to go with something small with a crown on it, is basically the plan. So we're gonna take another 2. That seems like the best choice to me, and then it'll just be in the hands of fate. Okay, so let's pull 2 cards off this deck. Are we gonna make this? All right, price number 1 is Great Fishing. Whoo! Okay, we're not drawing that card. We're just gonna let that hang. Great Fishing, but the fish got to go. And then we gotta pay 2 barrels. Okay, all right, I can pay 2 barrels. We have that in our hand. So we have 4 cards left. I don't really know how this is gonna play out, but we're gonna do our best. Okay, so we have the cards that we need to pay. So these will all go into the discard. And then there is my 4th leg of the journey. We have to do 1 more. Okay, so the obvious choice is to put down 1 more 2 because this deck is just really low and I don't want to play too risky. I think that there's bragging rights for having like higher difficulty segments of your journey, but you know what? I'm just gonna take the shortest path, the easiest path, and really hope that I live. Okay, so here's the last leg of our journey. This is the one that we're gonna live or die on. Whew. Don't draw anything bad, come on. Oh no, okay, so we got rough seas. So we owe like a guy and 2 barrels. Hopefully it stops here. All right, so we got a Great Fishing card. We're gonna make it because I have this guy with a barrel and then I have 2 barrels. So we have managed to pay off all the legs of our journey. These will go with the discard. I got 1 card left in my hand. 5 segments of the journey are done, and we had 3 cards left in the deck, and they were gone. Good fishing again, illness, and rough seas, and those 2 of 3 of those would have really sucked. All right, so we've survived all of our whole game of Days of Discovery. We've made it to the Land of Danger. We completed 5 segments. We have all 6 sponsors, and as I hope that y'all can see, this is an entertaining game of push your luck, where you really are not totally sure what's going to come off of that deck next, but you just have to do your best with it. This is a fun little game, and I hope that you enjoyed this playthrough. Happy gaming.